Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hello, and welcome to a little miniature update. I just thought I'd give this and put this out here, since I had nothing better to be doing just for this moment right now today. So at the moment, things are going pretty good. Just a couple of things really I wanted to discuss, and two things to just bring up very quickly. You will have noticed that obviously we started the new Stalker Let's Play. That's going really well. I'm really enjoying that, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying it too. It's bloody good fun. There has been effectively nothing but Stalker videos so far for a little while now. The reason for that is at the moment I'm actually a bit under the weather. I don't know if I sound it or not, probably not, but I'm a bit under the weather at the minute. It's just coughing and sneezing and mucus and earwax and just bodily fluids, and it's fucking horrible, and I really have just been... just out of action, to be honest with you. I just got up one morning and was like, fuck it, no, I can't do any more. I've not live streamed either. So all I've been doing is basically just sitting on my ass, and I've recorded the odd Stalker video whenever I could, and for the most part, I've actually just been playing the new Mass Effect game and vegetating in front of the computer with that for a while. So, bit of light entertainment to keep my mind off feeling pretty shite. Unfortunately, these things happen. It's just that time of year. I'm glad I'm getting it out of the way now as opposed to on my holiday next month. But, whatever. Well, month after next, technically, but it's about a month from now. So, but anyway, yeah, so there will probably be a whole bunch of more Stalker videos. I think I'm up to about part 10 in terms of what I've actually recorded. So I'll probably be spamming you with more Shadow of Chernobyl for a while. If you've been waiting for more other stuff like Fallout New Vegas or Euro Truck, then I apologize. I'll get around to doing some more of them when I can, but at the moment I've just got this massive backlog of Stalker, which I'm just going to keep throwing at you guys, and hopefully you don't mind too much. But I'll get right on the other stuff as soon as I can. So and that's about it as far as that goes. So just a PSA really. If you've been wondering why there's nothing but Stalker, this is the reason why. So I just thought I'd let you know. But anyway, so if that's all you care about, then you can go now, and it's fine. No need to watch any further. But for the rest of you, I'm glad things are going so well this year so far. We've made a lot of progress in bringing the channel back to life a bit. We've recorded a lot of videos. We've done a lot of stuff. We've got two new series started, which seem to be going very well, and I am enjoying. We finished off the part 1 of Morrowind. We're getting back to New Vegas a bit, which is good as well. But it's nice to be doing new stuff, to be honest with you. I have to admit, it's a real huge, refreshing change to be doing something new for once. Particularly with Stalker, I got to a point where I basically just sat down one day and recorded about 5 videos of it. Sat there and played the game for roughly just under 5 hours straight, and just really enjoyed it. And I haven't done that with any video making kind of stuff for a long time. I used to be like that back like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. That's what I'd do. I'd just sit down and I'd play forever and just record forever, and then I'd have these massive backlogs of like 20 videos to upload. But that doesn't really happen so much anymore. But with Stalker in particular, it's been a bit like that actually. I've been really enjoying it, and just carried on playing and playing and playing because I've been just really getting into it. So yeah, more new stuff I think is the way to go in future. I'm not going to abandon any of the old main series we've got, like New Vegas and Skyrim. Skyrim's pretty close to finishing anyway. It's one more chapter, and then that's it. That'll come whenever it comes. People keep asking me, when are you going to do chapter 7 of Skyrim? And they keep asking me in the most inappropriate of places too, which is just wonderful. Like, if you really want to find a way to not endear yourself to me, it's to ask me in completely inappropriate places about bloody Skyrim. But that will come when it comes. I'm leaving that one for quite a long time. I have already, and I'm continuing to leave it for a while because, frankly, that LP deserves a really good send-off, and I can't give it that unless I am just really chomping at the bit to get back to Skyrim. Which at the moment I'm kind of sort of getting there. At the moment, if I had to, I could probably force myself to sit down and play the game and record it and make some reasonably entertaining videos, but that's not good enough as far as I'm concerned. If it was just, if it wasn't the last chapter, maybe I wouldn't give a shit so much. But since it is the final part of the thing, it deserves 110% from me, I think, to give it the send-off it deserves. As possibly the longest running series I think I've ever had on this channel. So yeah, that definitely needs to happen, but it will happen when I'm ready to do it and not before. And as for the other stuff, Morrowind Volume 2 will commence whenever. I'm just busy enjoying the new stuff at the moment, but I will be getting back to Morrowind when I can, because that's also a very good game that I very much enjoy. As for other stuff, what else? Mountain Blade's just sort of... I'll get back to Mountain Blade whenever I happen to feel like it. I bet, to be honest with you, when the new season of Game of Thrones starts again, you'll probably see me making a lot of Clash of Kings videos again. But for the moment, it's just... I'm not really paying much attention to it. I made it very clear at the start of the LP that Mountain Blade is very grindy, and it's one of those things you really have to be in the mood for, otherwise it's just really horrible. And at the moment, I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling that Mountain Blade urge to go out there and smack peasants around. Or get smacked around by peasants, really, to be honest with you. So, but it's not officially dead or anything in that sense. But it will continue at some point, just not right now. Aside from that, I have a massive to-do list at the moment of games that I want to get around to playing in the future on this channel. Actually, at the moment, I'm going through Stalker quite quickly at the moment, and the reason I'm doing that is because I'd actually like to get it finished and done in a reasonable amount of time, so that I can then move on to something else new. These really long, stupidly long series like Fallout New Vegas and Skyrim are good, but they can feel like just running on a treadmill forever and ever and ever, and it never really seems to reach any kind of conclusion. Whereas if you're playing a game like Stalker, which has a very defined beginning and end point, and it is not necessarily ridiculously long, it's a bit more refreshing, to be honest with you. To sort of say, okay, here's my starting point, there's my ending point, let's just play our way through this and enjoy it. And then we can, package it up, draw a line under it and say, job done, let's move on to something new. So that's something I'm really enjoying. But if you're curious about stuff that I'll probably be doing in future, obviously the other Stalker games are on the agenda. Call of Pripyat is what I will probably do after I'm done with Chernobyl. For sure, with the Misery mod. I don't know if it's recommended to play with that on a first-time playthrough. It probably isn't recommended, but I'm going to do it anyway because I've heard such good things about the mod. And aside from that, other games include stuff like Thief 1 and 2 and Deadly Shadows or whatever. Not that new rebooted one, forget about that. Let's pretend that doesn't exist. But the old Thief games... they're very dear to my heart, and I would love to play them on the channel at some point. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, again, is one that I would love to share with you guys and do a proper playthrough of it. I've always wanted to do a Nosferatu playthrough of Vampire the Masquerade, and I never got around to it. And I think if I were to do it on YouTube, I might do it as a Nosferatu character, which would be very, very interesting and different. I think. So that's something I will probably do at some point. Other stuff, let's see. I've always wanted to play System Shock 2. It's one of those games I've owned for a while, ever since they re-released it on GOG. And I played Bioshock, obviously, and Bioshock Infinite. I think I skipped Bioshock 2. But System Shock 2 and System Shock itself are the kind of grandparents of that. The spiritual predecessors of those games. And I've always wanted to actually sit down and play through the whole of System Shock 2. I've only played a little bit of it before. I didn't get very far with it because I got distracted by something else, presumably. I don't remember why I stopped playing it, but that's another one. And also the original Deus Ex as well. One of these days I'd like to play as well. That's one I don't recall if I've ever actually finished it, but I got very, very, very close to finishing it, I think. It's not a game I actually played back in the day when it was released. It's one of those ones that I kind of caught up to much, much later down the line and just discovered, oh my god, this game really is as good as everyone says it is. It's freaking awesome. But anyway, yeah, Deus Ex is a definite one on the to-do list. As well as other stuff like the new Torment game, Tides of Numenera, that came out. I was a Kickstarter backer for that, so full disclosure and everything, but I was a Kickstarter backer for that, and they shipped me my boxed, my box of goodies essentially I got for being a Kickstarter backer the other day, and it came full of books and art books and all sorts of really cool stuff. And honestly, I'm actually quite impressed with it all. And I've played a bit of the game. I did it on a live stream just to see what it was about, and I was actually quite intrigued with it. And then after going through all the sort of reading material and stuff that it's come with, including this gorgeous map, I'm actually really even more intrigued. I'd really like to play it, and I'd actually quite like to record it if possible, I think. So that's definitely on the list as well. And what else? I guess the original Planescape Torment as well. That's another game that I've been thinking about doing for ages. Was a bit apprehensive about it because of the amount of reading I would have to do. However, I think I could probably still manage it. I think for a lot of general dialogue, I could potentially just not read it out loud and tell you to pause it if you want to read it. But for most important stuff, I obviously still probably would read it out loud. And these days I don't struggle with it as much as I used to. When I was still new at this, I was really crap at reading things out loud, but obviously practice over the years has made me better at it, luckily. So that's definitely something I will do at some point. And I just learned literally today that they are making, or they're very close to releasing a enhanced edition of Planescape Torment, because that was the other thing that put me off playing it, was the fact that you had to install lots of weird resolution mods and stuff to get it running properly on a modern system that would also make it very difficult to record and blah-de-blah-de-blah. Now, that also put me off it a bit, to be honest with you, because I remember trying to record the original Baldur's Gate for YouTube, and that was a massive pain. I had to do so much cropping and messing around after the fact in editing. It was a real pain. But with the enhanced edition coming that updates it so it sort of runs reasonably properly on modern systems with decent resolution and stuff, that will deal with all of those problems by the looks of things, hopefully, and that should be nice. It might include a few conveniences here and there to make the player's life easier and stuff like that. But, I mean, some people have had issues with the enhanced editions of Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition. And they're legitimate issues, I think, for sure. But for the most part, I'm actually quite happy with them, having played them. And I'm sure I'll be very happy with the enhanced edition of Planescape Torment, which is an absolutely fucking fantastic game. It's a really good RPG. It's one of the best ever, in fact, honestly. And it will be really great to share that with you guys on the YouTubes. So there you go. There's probably other stuff that I'll remember after making this video, to be honest with you. Let's see, what did we cover? Thief, System Shock 2, Deus Ex, Torment, both Torment games. Someone will probably mention the old Fallout games, but again, they're a pain in the ass to record, and they're okay, but I never really got hugely into them. I mean, I completed the first one and then only got about halfway through Fallout 2, but they're not that high on my priority list. I have to be bluntly honest. But oh yeah, there was both the Hidden and Dangerous games as well. GOG recently re-released Hidden and Dangerous 2 on their site, and I have bought a copy of that because my old box copy from 10 million years ago no longer seems to exist. I can't find it anywhere, and they've released it along with its expansion that came out for it as well, which is freaking great. And the original game I think they have on there as well, but presumably you can still get it for free. The deluxe edition of the original Hidden and Dangerous you could get for free. Not illegally. I mean, legally you could get it for free because they released it for free when they released the second game as a sort of marketing promotion thing. I don't know if that's still the case, but I certainly have a copy of it right now installed anyway. So that's a game from my childhood that I absolutely loved. If you're not familiar, they're basically the two games that are essentially the tactical squad shooters. You have a squad of 4 guys, and you basically take the role of a squad of SAS soldiers in World War II, and you basically do loads of different, covert missions around Europe during World War II, and it's very much inspired by all those really cool old war movies from the 60s and 70s, like, A Bridge Too Far and, Heroes of Telemark and all that sort of shit. And I live for those films. I fucking love them. They're fucking awesome. They really are. So, and those games definitely helped when I was a kid, getting really interested in World War II and stuff like that. So they are brilliant games. They are super difficult. A little bit janky in places, especially the first one, considering how old it is, but they are super goddamn good. And I've been wanting to share them for a while. I did make 2 aborted attempts many years ago with both of those games, but I was still new at the whole Let's Playing thing, and it didn't turn out very well, and I wasn't very happy with the results. So, and I decided that I'd come back to it much later when I was much better at doing this whole thing, and I think one of these days that might just happen. But anyway, so yeah. Anything else? Whatever. If I've been clever, I will have remembered to put a list of all this on the screen in editing. And in fact, I might actually put some other games on the screen that I may have forgotten to say right now, but will remember later. In fact, I'll do that. I'll do a bullet-pointed list on the video right now, so you can see all the stuff that's kind of on my radar. Because people always ask me, "What are you going to do Let's Plays of?" And what are you what are you planning in the future? And they give me suggestions and things, and I already have a pretty clear idea of what I want to do. And that's all sort of regular, what you might call quote-unquote casual games, I suppose. Because obviously I want to do some flight simulator related content as well at some point, but it's probably going to be just sort of not the kind of same thing I do on Twitch, where I just fly planes. It's going to be different, I think. It'll be series with some sort of goal in mind. Some people suggested maybe doing an FS economy thing where I build a little airline and fly, trips for it and stuff like that and earn money and do it as a progressive thing. Or other things like that. One thing I'm kind of working on is a sort of tutorial series type thing, which I've been doing a lot of research for and taking quite seriously, because I want to put quite a bit of production value into it, I think. Which is just sort of I think a lot of you maybe watching this probably aren't going to be that interested in it, but it's one of those things that I just want to put on YouTube and throw out there because it's something I feel deserves to exist. It's a tutorial for a particular aeroplane, which for which there are no good tutorials on YouTube that are particularly watchable or helpful, and I feel like someone ought to bloody well make one, and since no one else seems to be bothering, I'm going to do it myself. So it's not necessarily aimed at my regular viewers. It's going to be one of those things that's just me trying to do a public service to the rest of the world by making something that I think deserves to exist, if that makes any sense. But anyway, never mind, I'm just rambling at this point. Anyway, so that's my little update on what's been going on lately, what's going on in the future and that sort of thing. If you've been a bit like, well, Dave, why are you doing nothing but Stalker videos at the moment? Yeah, you already know why, because I already told you in the beginning of this video. And as for the other stuff, yeah, that's the kind of vague future plans I have at the moment. I just felt like kind of sharing them because they've just been sat there in the back of my mind for a little while now, and I'd mentioned it in passing before on Twitch streams and on Twitter and things like that, but it feels good to get it out there officially in the form of an update, so you chaps here on YouTube can actually see my train of thought here, I guess. So anyway, yeah, cheers folks, that's about it, and I'll catch you whenever the next video is. I need to render a couple of new Stalker videos tonight, I think, and I will upload them for tomorrow, or either tomorrow or the day after, I think. So it'll be part 5, followed by part 6. Yeah, that's about it. All right, cheers everyone, and I'll catch you next time. Toodaloo.